everybody. My name is Angie Morenga. You're watching Just Angie. It's the relationship series, which we started a while ago, and it's been really, really going well. And today I have a guest who's not new to you. I've just loved your engagement with her. I watched her video and I watched the views and I was like, oh my God, Shalom, what is going on? But I think you really touched people where they are. So she's been here before. She'll introduce herself for those who do not know her, and then we'll engage in a conversation. But well done. I'm so grateful that you're transforming lives. My goodness.
I can only thank God.
Hey,
Yeah.
this is Jesus.
Thank you.
Hiya. Those who do not know you, who are you?
Hello, my name is Shalom Munyiri. A counseling psychologist, author, and I basically work with corporate and family wellness. So I'm passionate about seeing generations connect. I'm passionate about enhancing communication and bonding in families. So I think that's what makes my heart beat.
That is so amazing. Enhancing communication and bonding in families.
families.
If you need to be global, because this is what is required, or you need to reproduce yourself. Because I'm telling you, you know, sometimes I guess they say the numbers don't lie. So I just was going through the feed. I got to your video. I'm like, Hala, what happened?
Yeah.
And that's a while. 40,000 views.
Wow,
I was like,
that's
okay.
amazing.
I don't know how many shares. And then we also had the session on the roadmap to deliverance.
Yes.
A lot of families also connected through that.
One, yes.
But I wanted you to come back because at that event, you had this book about teens.
Yes.
And it was written Eggs. It's called Eggs,
Hammers.
Hammers and Chili Peppers. And it's a book towards, is it teenagers?
Yeah, it's tips and tools really for raising them.
To help you connect with your teenagers. So this is for parents.
It's for parents, yes, but also mentors. I have had...
Oh, mentors.
You see, because of what's going on in family, I have had people who are working with young people use the book.
Okay.
I think my favorite story out of the non-parents who have used it was a guy who was... he was coaching a basketball team. Oh. And he was using each chapter as a lesson after. Because you see, each chapter ends with some Bible verses and everything. So he made it into a devotional. So he just took the book. He liked it. He doesn't have kids of his own, but he had a basketball team to take care of.
So he took them through it?
He took the book.
So after we play basketball, we sit down?
Yeah, we sit and we
learn a lesson?
We learn a lesson from this chapter, from this chapter, from this chapter.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I love this way I've opened to. Now you see, teach them to be humble leaders, confident in their abilities, ready to give their all. Teach them to enjoy the experience of playing.
Yes.
We don't play.
We don't play.
We're on gadgets.
Not just even on gadgets. We're also so serious. I mean,
oh my God.
Because if you look at what's harming family, what are the parents doing? They're busy. They're serious. Busy. So they don't play. There's no time to play. There's no time to play for the parent. There's no time to play for the child. There's no time for us to play. So it's actually work.
Chapter 4 says it takes teamwork.
To make the teen work.
To make the teen. Oh, the teen work. It takes teamwork. Hey, Shalom. Me speak to me. Me, I'm overwhelmed. So talk to us. How do you talk to us about? Because the relationship between parents and their children, there are no absolute numbers, but it's not a good. It's not a good space.
It currently isn't a good space, and I'm really feeling, that empathy, compassion for family, because one of the things that's happening is the world is coming at us, and we don't know what to do, and even when we know what to do, it is so much, we don't know where to start, what needs to be done. So case in point, like you were saying, from last year we've been having these conversations about generational healing, like intergenerational connection and trauma and everything else. And I think we spoke a little earlier when I told you, now I'm taking a deep dive. Because in the therapy room, I'm having situations where children are trying, teenagers are trying, young people are trying. They're trying to do what needs to be done. But at some point, we come and we hit against this rock. The ones who are thriving are the ones whose parents are coming and also having something done.
So they actually do the work with the parents.
With the parents.
But
it doesn't have to be in the same room, but the parent goes for therapy. And not only just to me, even if the parent goes to any therapist.
Okay.
Because when the parent does work on themselves, they see now how they have affected the child for the child to be that way. So if your young adult is hooked on something, whatever drug they're hooked on, it means that they are using it. Yes, I know we can blame social media, we can blame peer pressure and all that. But if they're having any trouble in their life, they're struggling to cope for one reason or another.
And that's why it's become an addiction.
And that
because
it
you
ends up-
told
yes,
us
yeah.
that addiction comes from pain.
Yes. So you see, now they're in pain. They're unable to cope. They're trying to be hard. They start doing things and using things to ease the pain.
And it could be like, I'm just thinking that, okay, it could be addiction, it could be alcohol, it could be something else, but could it be also like the games that they play?
Yes.
Could it be whatever addiction, whatever they feel like they cannot do
Anything.
without?
Anything that will distract you from the thing that's causing the
that
pain.
we're supposed to be focusing on.
Yes. So we grew up in an era where if my mother was in pain, she got busy. She got busy serving the Lord. She got busy
what they
working.
did.
She had a farm, right? She worked hard and took me to school. So what did I get busy doing? My generation got busy learning, educating themselves, improving themselves, whatever it was. Then we had enough money to afford all the care we can get. So our children didn't need to work. So what do they do when they want to avoid their pain? If my mother didn't deal with her pain, I haven't dealt with my pain, of course I've passed it on to my children in one way or another. And so because they don't have the work, they don't have the struggles, so what do? There's a gadget available.
Yeah.
They disappear in it. There's weed, there's vape, there's social media, there's a movie, there's pornography, there's places for them to disappear. And so they disappear there. So generation after generation after generation is dealing with pain,
That has
but
not
with
been
the
dealt
tools
with.
that are available in their era.
And what you're saying is that pain has not been dealt with.
The pain has not been dealt with.
So we have to deal with the pain.
We have to dig and clean that.
And one of the things that we can do when we see our teenagers getting into addictive, I hope we can say them before they get into the addictive behavior,
Yes.
but we've got to understand that there's a pain here that has not been dealt with generationally.
Exactly.
And the parent has to deal and the children have to deal.
Yes.
Everybody has to deal.
And now the children don't have the skills to deal.
Yeah.
It's not, or the older teenagers may get the skills if they are exposed to certain things or certain information in their mentoring spaces. You know, it depends on what else they're exposed to. If your teen is going to a church that is caring about that intergenerational impact or change or transformation, then your teen has a chance of hearing from another voice. Otherwise, if they're not hearing it from a credible source, they're going to hear it from somewhere. So we need to heal so that they can hear it from us.
As parents.
Yeah. I remember just getting some information and looking at it, I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm the way I am because of how my parents brought me up. And I don't think this is nice. And then I now started seeing it playing out in my children. I remember just calling them and saying, hey, you know, we have things that we need to talk about. And they're going to be painful, but I'm ready. I know it's going to be painful for me. But I'm wondering which pain is better. The one of me healing or the one of watching future generations struggle.
Keep doing the same thing.
Yeah, because
repeating the same cycle.
Yeah. And when you're reacting to pain that wasn't yours in the first place, you do the wrong thing. It's worse. That's why we have this general feeling like things are getting worse. They're not getting worse. It's because our teens are paying for crimes they did not commit.
Oh my goodness, Shalom.
Yeah.
Shalom, that's too deep.
And that's why it's, you know, let me put it this way. If you've been hurt by a partner, you know why you're reacting a certain way. But your child has not been hurt by the partner. So they take your pain or they take the side of this, they pick a side and they start reacting
towards that pain.
Yes. They don't have the same tools that you have
to deal
by virtue of their age and stage in life. So what do? They look for the thing that's going to relieve the pain. And then now, okay,
but
granted.
What makes us think that we want addiction? Although I can imagine, like now when I think about, like me, if I have problems, we must eat cake.
Yeah.
What else are we going to eat? We must, and the cake must be chocolate.
You see.
So you see now, that's a copy. Already I'll feel better.
You will feel better.
Already.
Yes.
Then now we can begin to deal.
Higher.
So how did I develop that? I don't know why food became a comfort.
There are different reasons why food would become a comfort. Number one, it was denied you. So it came as a reward, and therefore cake became the reward. Or it was given to you. And therefore you made it about
part
cake.
of my comfort thing.
Yeah. But there's people who have done all. If you look at the addictive behavior we have, even if you look at somebody who's addicted to sex, why?
Where did it start?
It started somewhere.
Did somebody touch them inappropriately?
Somebody could have
Let's
touched
just
them
say.
inappropriately.
Because where does that come from?
They could have touched themselves inappropriately. So they got sexual gratification. And then there's this thing of research. Because information is readily available, I just need to ask the right question and the information will come. It's at my fingertip. So what happens is, if I ask information like how do I ease pain, self-harm will come, you know, something.
Even through the internet, if I ask that question,
masturbation, whatever, all that
all
will
the
come.
answers will come.
There will be answers. You should just ask the question the right way. And then what you do, you try it out.
And then maybe it works for you.
And it will work.
It gives you a temporary relief.
Exactly.
And then so you're excited about that.
Yes.
So when you face your problems, this is how you get a relief.
Yeah.
Is there something about psychology that says if I face a problem or face a wall, that I want a temporary, pleasureful counter to what I'm feeling and experiencing?
It depends. It depends on what this person learns about facing a wall. You know, like when you're hit there. Many of us will look for a way to escape facing that fear, facing the problem. But there are those who are taught how to face the problem, ask for help, look for solutions. So we all have different skills when it comes to how we face it. And that's about resilience, right? So psychology will teach you or will show us that humans want release and relief from pain. So our first instinct is pain avoidance, right? You don't want pain. Now, when you don't want pain, how have you learned to deal with pain as you are growing up? When you didn't want pain when you were a child, were you asked, what can you do about it? And therefore learned how to think?
How?
Do you get?
No.
When you didn't want pain, were you told what you were told? You're crying. Let me give you another reason.
Let me give you a reason to cry.
Let me give you a good reason to cry. You know?
You have not cried.
So what did you? What did you then translate that to mean? So these walls that we keep facing, the trouble we face, the relationship breakups, getting fired from a job, friends just letting you down, any of the problems we have, being lonely. I mean, life is happening and we are busy. So when you're alone, how did you learn how to deal with loneliness when you were a child? And how will that play out as a grown-up?
I don't know whether we're going to help anyone. How are we going to help them?
How are we going to help them?
The teenagers. And this title, first of all, how are we going to help them? You're going to tell me, but why eggs, hammers, and chili peppers?
Now, if I told you, then is there any point buying the book? Well,
don't tell you everything.
Okay.
Oh, so you want them to buy the book? Don't tell them everything.
Well,
then.
I don't mind telling them.
No, don't tell them everything. Let them
because
go buy
there's somebody
the book.
who once asked me, is this a cookbook? So then I asked, okay, so where does the hammer come in? You know, as far as I know, the eggs and chilies, yes, but the eggs are the children.
So they're that fragile.
They're fragile, but it depends, because an egg is fragile when it hasn't encountered adversity. When you allow your child to encounter some difficulty, they build resilience. That's equivalent to like the boiling of an egg. Yeah? You drop a boiled egg, it won't just fall all over the place.
It won't just fall.
The shell will crack, but the egg wouldn't necessarily splatter. When it's not boiled, when it hasn't faced any adversity, any hot water, trouble, it will break, right?
So we protect our children sometimes, because what we're saying is also like, if you look at my parents' generation, they had so many hardships.
Yeah.
Them, there was no time when to break down, for sure.
Yeah.
They had things to do. Like before you went to school, you had to milk the cows, feed the other children, so they had chores, then they went to school.
Exactly.
And I remember one person saying that's why they were successful, even when they went to other places and do jobs, because they worked so hard.
If you actually check those that were successful, it depends on what they translated that to mean.
Or
even though that work.
The hard work.
Yes.
But then they went, anyway, so those ones did that.
Yes.
Then our generation.
So we would not be in trouble if they had succeeded.
Yes.
On the emotional and psychological side. Because we have problems that are coming from somewhere. But I feel like we were
not able to express what we wanted.
But were they?
No.
Do you get? They were not able to express.
They were not able
so
to
they
express.
Can't teach us to express.
That's so true.
Right?
They can't teach us how to express our feelings.
Yeah, but why are our children expressing their feelings? Because they're learning from more than the parent.
They're learning from the world.
Exactly.
Aha, that makes sense.
The village has expanded.
The village has expanded.
Yes.
So you have more questions.
You have more questions because you have
more
been taught how
information.
to ask questions.
Okay, got it.
You get?
Yeah.
That's why they will ask. Because they have
And they are
watched,
bold, they really ask.
They have watched a video, a series, a movie, something where questions are being asked. So why should they ask?
Why should they ask questions?
Yeah.
And we can't shut them up.
Yeah.
There's something I've seen here. Me, Shalom. But anyway, they're going to get the book. But I love this. The benefits of raising a teenager. I'm only going to pick 3. They are quite a number. They build your patience.
Yes.
That is true.
Oh, gosh.
Me, I think teenager and young adult. I told you the time I almost died was out there when she was a young adult.
Yeah.
18 to 23. I was ready to exit the world. I was like, Lord, take me. It's okay.
And yet you had survived 0 to 18.
But now 18 to 18 was another story. So they do build your patience.
They build your patience. They build your patience when you allow that to be built. When you actually look at your teenager and think, you know what? They're not going to be a teenager forever. So let me wait. Yeah. Let me be patient.
But let me also pour into it. That's what we're saying.
Yes, exactly.
They enhance your memories. Because they say, when I was your age, because I was told to stop saying that. Stop saying when I was your age. Because
I actually have highlighted that
even
in the book.
Actually even said it somewhere.
Yes.
When I was your age. Yeah, that is
in
the
our days.
I have to give in our days.
In our days. When I was your age.
Shalom, the sentence must start in our days.
Why?
Because I only have that to compare it to.
So show me relevance.
You see, now that's where you got me. I was like, done with you. And it's not relevant. In our days, it's not relevant for now.
Mainly because when you make a statement starting with in our days, it's already judgmental. Yeah. Let the child be the one to ask about your days. It's not that your days are irrelevant.
I'm so glad my child is 30. I can't do this.
Yeah.
This
so
is
that
too
one
much.
about enhancing memory, it includes things like whatever you've forgotten, they will remember. I promise you I'll get your phone when you're 16. They turn 16 tomorrow.
Then you are forgotten.
I promise you I'll get your phone when you're 12. I promise you when you get this grade, I'm going to give you this. They will enhance your memory.
They'll remind you.
That's one.
That this
Secondly,
is what you said.
If you want to parent them well and follow through with consequences, then work on your memory. Because another thing that happens is parents say this will be the consequences to your behavior, and they promptly forget. So the child just needs to wait up. You will forget that you said you are grounding me. You're busy. So I just need to chill.
Let time pass.
You will forget.
You've got to give us some. Me, honestly, you've got to. I like this one as well. They may improve your personal presentation. I think that's important, yeah?
Yes.
Because they keep you on your toes.
Keep you on your toes.
They're like, you can't come to school looking like that.
If you're actually open, and now especially because this is the social media space, they actually are a better place to help you with your social presence. You can actually, there's a lot to learn from them. That's why I talk about connecting generations, because they have a lot of value to add to the analog parent, for instance. Or even now, I mean, we are getting to a place where we have people who are born in the digital era and are now parents. They also have something to learn from their children. Yeah.
Wow. Me, I would say one more here, then I'm going to let you to talk, because me now. Hey, Shalom, you can make such a statement.
I'm sorry, that's a no holds barred kind of.
This book is no holds barred.
Yeah,
but I want you to, as I read this, after this, I want you to tell me how we're going to use it practically. So allow me at this point to address all parents who had sex before marriage.
Oops.
And then realize.
How did you find that?
I can't believe, I'm just open. They should not have and are hell-bent on ensuring their teen does not make the same mistake. Wow. First, your team may or may not know that you did. Simple math, guy. They are doing maths. They should do maths.
Yeah.
Simple. Shalom, you're killing me with this book. Simple math that they do once they start learning about sex in school includes calculating the months between your wedding date and the firstborn's birthday. Me, I've surrendered. Buy the book, but I want to know. Shalom. So now that story is for?
It's for those of us who like telling our children, you shall not have sex before marriage, and you don't equip them with tools of how to do that, when you yourself could have done it.
And they go through the maths?
Yeah.
And know that you actually did.
You got married in maybe April, and I was born in August. No child stays for 4 months. Hence, therefore, sex was hard.
Are they going to ask you that, or they just know? Because I guess they'll know, and maybe they might not
discuss
say
as
it.
siblings.
They discuss as siblings.
Yes, and even if they don't have a sibling, they will discuss with friends.
Oh no, Shalom,
Yeah.
this is getting worse. This is getting out of hand.
So
what do we do?
be open with them.
Tell the truth.
Yes.
Say that even you had sex before marriage.
Yes.
And maybe now explain.
Like this is
why I
what
don't want
led
you to
me
have
to
it. Yeah.
Yes, and this is
So these are the reasons. But don't lie.
Don't lie.
What?
I mean, like, say I wasn't born. Let's say, for instance, I wasn't born again by that time, and this is the life I was living, and this is what I did, and then this is how I have changed. This is what I see different. I mean, like, be open. Be open to the extent of what led you to have sex. Wow. Curiosity, drunkenness, rebellion, whatever, excitement. What?
Peer pressure?
Peer pressure. What is it exactly? Because those are the tools they need to get over their present battles.
Wow.
Yeah.
So would you?
See,
okay.
One of the things I would say, in our days, there was peer pressure.
There was.
Right?
But I think now it's global.
It was a certain kind of peer pressure. It's only that our peers were within a certain geographical
it wasn't
place.
So it wasn't the whole world.
It wasn't the whole world. Now, with the click of a button,
you're in the world.
Pressure is from out there. But peer pressure is peer pressure.
Yeah.
Whether it's coming from America or next door, it is peer pressure. What tools? How did you survive the peer pressure? How did you not bow to it, or how did you give in
to the peer pressure?
To the peer pressure.
So you give them those as tools.
You
on
just
how
give
to
them
deal.
tools.
So you're also telling us to be truthful.
Be truthful.
And authentic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be truthful. Be authentic, because that's who they need. In their struggle, when you present yourself as so perfect, they think there's something wrong with them.
Yeah, that is very true.
Right? And therefore they feel as though there's a defect, there's a problem, therefore I can't win this battle. But when you come and tell them, you know what, I also struggled
with this. And you've made it, you're moving forward.
I actually tell my children every so often, like, I see them struggling with something, they struggle, then I sort of like smile about it, and they ask me, what is it? Then I say, I know where you got that from. I remember struggling in this way. Now mine are in their 20s, right? And so we talk about how the 20s is the worst decade in somebody's life. And we tell them, 20s is the worst decade. Just look at us guys. We got you when we were in our 20s. Why? Not because 30s is a better time to get children, but what led to that decision? I've got stepchildren. Why? Because certain decisions were being made around that time, and they were decisions based on things that were happening in life. I was upset with my mother for something. And so I said, you know what, to hell with it. I'm going to have sex. How long does it take to get a baby?
9 months.
No, that's how long it takes to give birth to a baby. To get pregnant?
It must be seconds.
2 seconds. So unless you're going to be realistic, authentic, vulnerable with them, then if you don't do that, you reduce their chances of knowing that they are human too, who are open to making mistakes, susceptible to making mistakes, and able to overcome them. Yeah.
And because they're learning from your stories, and I'm just thinking, a parent is a source of strength, you know? You look at your parents, they're a source of strength, so you're expecting, if they made it and they are strong, that this will also happen.
Exactly. If I'm feeling weak now, I'm also able to. Because that's the other thing we need to keep telling our children. You're a survivor because I am.
Yeah.
This is what I survived. Yeah.
I remember sharing that with Althea at her bridal shower, and we actually both cried because she hadn't seen it at that point.
Yeah.
And I was now, for the first time, I told her, for the first time, how I had failed at my marriage, and I was not going to fail at raising her.
Yeah.
So sort of explaining all the difficult things that had happened. It was a bit late, but still it came to that moment. And another place I'm seeing that she's really learning from, I've just launched my book, Raw.
Yes, Raw.
So she's saying she's reading it, and she's so happy because she's seeing a different perspective. I'm really shocked. I'm like, what? So she knows about this experience, but there's a way she was seeing it then. But now when she sees what I've written, she's like, wow.
And you see, you asked a question, are we going to be able to help anybody? Are we going to be able to save anyone? Althea has not yet gotten her child, right? She's going to see your struggle
when she has her children.
when she does have her children, when God does bless her with her children, she won't be starting from scratch because you have opened up. Do you get? She won't be starting from scratch. And it's not just Althea. Every woman who's going to read that book and say, oh my God, if she did, then I can
do it.
I'm writing a book. It's
I'm really
there's a and it's being informed by this generational trauma and how we can help each other across generations as women, right? It was born out of an incident I had when I was driving down the road, and I was in my car, and there was a lady jogging with her children on the roadside, and there was another mama, you know, like a beggar kind of lady, homeless. I'll put homeless in quotes because I don't know, but she was seated on the further end of the road. That homeless mama had 2 children. The lady jogging had 2 children, and I have 2 biological children. And in that split moment, it hit me. Here are 2 moms with two kids, each living a different life. But we are in one moment. The second when all of us were in that one line was a moment that will never happen again. But what are the respective journeys of these ladies? Yeah.
And what are the challenges?
What have they gone through to get to where they are? What challenges are they facing at the moment? And what's their possible future? Right? And I just thought, oh my God, I am her. So I don't know her story, but there she is as a parent. I don't know whether she's a single mom, solo mom, whatever, but she's a mother of 2 children. What's her story? She doesn't know my story. Does she look at the lady jogging and wish she could jog somewhere? Am I sitting in this car frustrated by my life, wishing I could take my kids back and make them that young and be able to jog? Wow. So what regrets do I have as a mother of young adults? That I could tell that mama who's jogging with her 5-6-year-old, you know, that kind of thing. And it just hit me. And we were stuck in traffic. I wrote the outline for the book in traffic.
Amen.
Why? Because if we don't write these things down, if we don't talk about them, if we don't share them, then nobody will get help. Yeah.
This book, you must tell me about the hammers and the chili peppers, and then tell me practically how we use this book.
Okay.
And so where we get it as well.
If you look at the contents page, it can kind of like tell you how to use the book.
Okay.
It basically starts with recognizing the signposts that the children go through.
Okay.
And that's why it's tips, yes, it's tips and tools for handling teenagers, but start from around 12, when these changes are starting to happen.
Physical body
We talk about the physical, emotional, verbal, social, spiritual, all that, right? And then each chapter, each section ends with a word from God.
Okay.
Why? I sincerely believe that it's difficult, if not impossible, to do this life
without God.
Without God.
There we can't argue.
I don't know how people do it.
I don't know how people do it. Even me, I don't know.
Right? But now, once you've understood those things, you see the next one is the egg that stood out.
Yes.
What's unique about your child?
Wow.
What's similar about the 2 of you, but what's unique about them?
Okay.
So that we're not trying to push them into something that they are not.
Okay.
And then, of course, again, like I said, every chapter, Word of God, because the Word of God has something to say about everything that's going on.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Then, if we go on, we look at the uniqueness. We look at the challenges that they face. We look at hot topics. We don't want to talk about sex, like the one that you are reading. We don't want to talk about sex. What happens when your child comes and tells you, I think I'm bi, I think I'm gay? You know, what will you do about it? We have those conversations there. We look at what you are saying, what a teen. For a teen to work, then the team must work. So who do you have around you? How do you build a village? Some of us are from families who we don't want helping us raise our children.
Yeah.
So how do you raise an actual village? I have a
that
sample
can raise
village.
The children. That's true.
So in there, I've even drawn like a diagram of a sample village. When you're thinking about the village to build around your child, what is it going to be like?
And who's in that ecosystem?
Who's in that ecosystem?
Amazing.
What tools? The hammers are the tools. The hammer represents the tools. Yes.
Okay.
And chili peppers are the hot topics you're going to have.
Okay.
The ones that are hard to have.
Ones we don't want to have.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in your toolbox, what do you have? It helps you kind of like decide, okay, I have a gentle child. How do I raise them? It's different from raising a very assertive child. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you do that?
Different things that you need to do.
Yeah. There's a chapter on making lemonade. That comes from making lemonade out of lemons.
Yeah.
What do you do when life deals you lemons? You have done all the best, then you're hit with cancer. You lose a job. Somebody dies. What happens? everything was going according to plan, then
Something happens.
something happens. How are you going to handle that with your children? How do you talk to your children about a parent dying? Yeah.
That's a hard one.
Terminal illnesses, and
sometimes, and especially in the African context, we just keep quiet.
exactly, and
We
we
just
just
keep
hide
quiet,
it from them.
and then everybody just has to deal how they're gonna deal.
And then we say, God loved them more.
So that's hard because that
Why
takes-
will I love God?
Yeah, because He's taking away what I love.
God
What do you
is
mean He
mean.
loved you more? He's
Yeah.
a mean God.
Yeah.
That's true.
So those are
Yeah.
the
I
conversations
get
that
that.
basically
I get that.
happen.
So we can sit as a family,
Yes,
or we can sit. I would be ideally we can sit as mother, father, and everyone.
that would help.
But whichever parent can do, can do. I don't know why I
Exactly.
was feeling, but I thought, can it? There's the generation of outsourcing. Can
Yes.
you outsource? I just want to read one thing.
Yes,
here.
okay.
Can you outsource? Can you now go get them a coach or this community
Yes,
to
yeah.
take them through this? If you are unable
Yes.
to do it as a parent,
Let me say-
but at least you're helping your
Let me
child.
say, yes, you can.
Yeah.
But please make that a temporary measure,
Until you get yourself
because it's
into
going
it.
to come back to bite you.
Okay.
So if you think that your situation is so dire, yes, get a
Or
mentor.
maybe I don't want to talk about it because
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking. Maybe
I'm
as
in
a
pain.
parent, I don't want to talk about it. I can't handle it. I can't tell the truth
Yeah.
about the situation.
Handle it with your peers,
Handle
but
it with
handle
your
it.
peers.
Yes.
But at some point, you're going to have to onboard yourself onto that
You're going to
process.
have to onboard
That's what
it.
you're saying.
Yes.
There's something you said here. My goodness. Would your teen tell you if they were abused? I was actually shocked. Okay. Would they tell you? I don't know. And it doesn't mean just sexually, verbally, physically, emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
It's really sad because they don't tell us. They don't tell the parent.
And why don't they
Why don't they? You're the one I'm asking. Why don't they tell the parent?
trust?
They don't trust us.
They don't trust us.
Oh, Shalom.
They don't trust us.
Could it be okay? They don't trust us, or do they want to keep it from us because they don't want to worry us?
No, that too. But why don't they want to worry you? Because they don't trust that you can handle it. So let's say I have watched my mom or dad struggle with something, then something happens to me. I don't trust that they will survive it. Do you get? Yeah. So there's that element of, can I trust you with my pain? Can I trust you with this information? There's the one of, what are you going to do? Are you going to react in a negative way? Or are you able to deal? Are you able
the
to
book
deal?
to do
I
something.
wanted to point out, right here at the back, I have an appendix. Okay, there are many appendices. But there's a whole list of suggested activities
That you
to
could
make
do.
this process easier.
Okay.
Do you
That's
get?
good, yeah.
No teen wants to be sat down and said, let's talk. Let's talk about
So you
sex.
have to do things that
There's
then
things,
you
there's
can
a
bring up
whole
this
list
topic.
of things that you can do that will help you bond with the teen.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know there's those who will read and want to take this and translate it to whatever it means for themselves. But if you want to create an environment that works, there's a whole list of suggested activities. Everything from cookouts, cookings, camping, hiking, movie nights. Like some of the best conversations I've had have been through movie nights. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Where can they get the book?
Now, the book is available at Nuria bookstore, Books for My Soul, for those who like ebooks. And then really just getting in touch with me and it can be delivered.
Okay.
They were at Keswick, but Keswick was taking very long to sell, so I haven't
sell.
restocked.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
And then you have this. Now what is this? The first 6 months, years, words, lies, and consequences.
Yes.
Shalom.
This
This
is-
is also written by you.
Yes, but this is a little, it's called a playbook.
A parenting playbook.
Yes, and you know how playbooks are really the things that will guide what you're going to do. Before we get to this place where we are struggling with things, there's certain decisions that we need to make. What will you do within the first 6 months
Of the child.
of the child's life, within the first 6 years?
Oh.
What are the first 6 words they're going to say? How will you address the first 6 lies?
Lies.
Yes. Sin is wound up in us, isn't it? What are going to be their first 6 consequences?
Oh my God.
When your 2-year-old looks at you in the face and just does their food, what are you going to do about it?
And this is a coaching book to help you do that.
It gets you, it's actually a book where you will need to write down things. This has a lot of work.
I really love it. But it's
But
good.
it's for the 0
Work
to
is
6.
better. 0
Yeah.
to 6.
Yes.
And solving the puzzle of discipline, gadgets, and tantrums.
Yes.
Let me tell you, you need to get these books.
So this is for those with the younger children.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because if you start having those conversations early, then it's much easier here.
Wow.
Now this looks at dealing now with a teen who can understand at a different level than a 2-year-old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Shalom. Oh, it says, as a parent, you carry a lot of baggage.
Mm-hmm.
Your past experiences have jumped some things, which your child has absolutely nothing to do with, affect how you relate to them. You may discipline them as you were disciplined, or spoil them because you are not spoiled. You may neglect them because you are neglected, or be all over their space because you are often left alone. Wow, this is so amazing.
Yeah.
I should have read this a long time ago. But what shocks 0 to 6 months is how, like Althea would say, she's overwhelmed with my love. I'm like, that even sounds like an oxymoron. It doesn't even sound right. Who can be overwhelmed with love?
Yeah.
People are looking for love. They look,
and now
so,
you're saying
now you're saying my love is overwhelming. What does that mean? But do you know now that has struck a chord?
Mm-hmm.
Because I must have, because I did that, is it called a personality test?
Uh-huh.
And I think I was left alone a lot.
Yeah.
So I must have been left alone.
Yeah.
Or the other thing I felt is fear, because the children before me had passed on.
Yeah.
So there were twins, and then there was my brother, then there was me. So if it wasn't, I wasn't left alone, there was fear. And maybe fear, I'm just thinking about it because I'm not being able to talk about it. Or maybe fear of, let's not connect to this child because we don't know where this child is also.
They might go.
Not going to make it.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened with me. So
Yeah.
there was a lot of, so that's why I'm here overwhelmingly loving the child that I have.
So there's a
Who
question
can be overwhelmed by love?
Why?
Receive the love.
Why am I loving you the way I'm loving you? Not why am I loving you. The love is not the problem.
Now you've
It
answered
is
the
how we are
question.
showing it.
29 years too late.
Yeah.
It has come. This is
No,
the answer.
it's never too late.
It's never too late.
No,
Oh my God.
never. It's never ever too late. Why?
Wow,
Because then you're able to sit with Althea and say, man, these are the things I missed. Yeah. That's what I'm sitting and doing with my children now.
I'm buying this.
And just
Get
saying,
ready for my grandchildren.
you know what? This is the thing that I missed.
Wow.
I'm starting a parenting course
Oh.
with International Leadership University here in Nairobi.
ILU.
Yeah, ILU. And those are some of the things we're going to start looking at.
Really?
Like, how is your personality actually affecting your
parenting?
parenting? And then how has your life affected your personality? So it's a parenting class.
That's
it's
amazing.
a parenting course, but with the aim of healing what has happened to us so that we can parent better.
Okay.
So,
and so who should come for that course at ILU?
wow. I would like to say that we'll have like different cohorts. A cohort that hasn't started the journey, yes.
They're getting
So
prepared.
you're getting prepared.
Okay.
I'm going to be partnering with OBGYNs, so that we are talking to ladies who are expecting men who are
That
having,
is very good.
so that before you even get there, you're going to have a plan,
Have some skills,
right?
yeah.
And so that to about the 6-year-old could be one bracket. And then now at 6, now they're already in school, getting influenced by the world. Now those ones can be a different cohort. But the parents of the late teens and young adults, that's a whole different ballgame. Because now at that time, we are sitting to reason together. Yes, I'm not just telling you. So I'm starting with the ones who are pre-birth, all the way to about 6 years, and then a cohort from about 7, which is primary school, moving to mid-high school.
Wow.
That would be it.
That's amazing.
Because you see, the Bible talks about, we're just having a conversation out there. Bible talks about things being visited to the 3rd and 4th generation.
Yeah.
How does that work?
It's just by us. We don't talk about it, and we don't
Exactly.
deal, and it just keeps moving.
It just keeps
Cycles.
moving. However, science has proven a woman is born with all her eggs, right?
Yes.
Which means by the time you were being born, by the time your mom was expecting you, the DNA that was going to get into Althea was being created
In me.
in you. If you're going to have all your eggs, see, Althea is one of the eggs. Yes. So that was already being affected.
Affected.
So what happens is women, whatever trauma you have carried, you carry it in you over time.
My goodness, Shalom.
Now for men, it's different. They will carry it, yes, and of course it's being carried by their mothers, for instance, but men continue to experience trauma, etc., throughout life, and it affects their DNA. So what happens is, if a man can get healed, family gets healed faster.
Yeah.
That's why they redeem.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at how is it happening from generation to generation, there's a scientific finding and there's a biblical one. Yeah.
Wow.
And of course, there's environment. What can we do about the environment in which we are raising our children?
Well, thank you so much, Shalom. We'll definitely have you back. At least I have fulfilled one. You know, I'm always saying, we have to have you back again. She has come back again. So we shall, but we'll have you back again. Because also want to see how this partnership with the university goes.
Yeah.
How does that go? What happens? What do you learn?
Yeah.
I can't wait now for the third book. And these are resources. I'm telling you, we're not being paid. Me, I'm not being paid to say this. I'm just telling you, these are powerful resources that will help you. And you need to do something about it.
Yeah.
And we need to heal generations. We have to heal them. We have to heal them and be ready to do the work. Do you have a parting shot into this camera?
Wow. The short thing I would say is self-care has ended up being made to be selfish and confused with grooming. So taking care of yourself is something that will be very key to healing the next generation, healing yourself and healing the next generation.
Taking care of yourself.
Taking care of yourself. So take care of yourself psychologically. Take care of yourself emotionally. Take care of yourself so that you can even show the next generation how to take care of themselves. And healing will come when you are taking care of yourself. Yes. So I'm not talking about a spa treatment.
No.
That's just a tool.
That's just a tool.
Yes.
But now it's about my
Mind
mental
yourself,
wellness,
heal.
my body,
Yes.
my therapy, my thoughts, my actions.
Yeah.
Why do I do this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've got a friend who says, heal so that you stop bleeding on people who didn't hurt you.
Yeah. Amazing, Shalom.
Yeah.
I hope
Thank
you
you so
enjoyed that.
much.
It's always, as usual, very deep. Thank you for coming. And as soon as you finish the other book, let us know so that
I
you
will.
can come back again. These are all tools. And I'm not letting go of this one. You'll tell me how much it is.
Yeah.
Let me start preparing for my babies, my tushus.
No pressure.
Let me start. Pressure is a lot. What do you mean no pressure? The pressure
I like that.
is on.
Yeah.
Like this has got to happen.
Yeah.
So that now people start raising the next generation
But she'll be quite a
responsibly.
lucky grandchild. that
She
one.
will be.
Or he.
She
Yeah.
will be, or he will be, because I've done some work.
Exactly.
Althea has done some work, and now we're going here.
And you see, the healing will be there in the third and fourth generation.
Amen. Amen. We have to keep it going.
Yeah.
Amen. Thank you so much, Shalom.
Karibu sana.
Thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for impacting and wanting to transform lives.
Asante.
Yeah. God bless, guys. Bye.